Hi guys, very good afternoon to you. So welcome to another exciting video tutorial. This time we are going to record our 179 video, right? So this is going to be the video number 179, and today I'm going to talk about arrays. I'm going to talk about the folder handling. How do you actually handle the folders? And this is going to be really very exciting because I'm going to try to answer one of my subscribers' question. As you always know that most of the time I always upload the videos trying to answer your questions. So Mr. Ahmed has written me long time back, I think maybe 2 weeks back, and this is what he has to say. I have 3000 employee number in Excel and 7000 employee pictures in my D drive. How to delete 4000 employee pictures from D drive by VBA? Please reply as soon as possible. Now I asked you actually, Mr. Ahmed, if you're watching this video, I asked you but you didn't reply. I was actually wanted to know what is the relationship between your employee number and employee picture, right? So I guess maybe these employee numbers you want to keep it. So what you're saying is that in my D drive, let me show you, this is my folder. As you can see, in the D drive I have created a folder US, and in the US I have some images here, right? 1 2 3 4 5 6. Now what I think you are asking is that how to connect this with the Excel. So for example, if I write here, let's say 1.jpg and then 3.jpg, right? So now our macro which we're going to develop, what it should do is it should delete these files. It should delete these files from your D drive, or maybe vice versa also. It should keep these files and rest of all the files are going to be deleted. Well, that simply just the equals to and not equals to criteria that we are going to do, right? So now, but because you have asked me that employee numbers, I'm not sure what you're talking about here, because employee numbers, there must be some relevance between employee number and employee pictures which are available in the D drive. So let me know about it, but again the concept will remain same. So if you have the employee IDs here, just try to get their these names. Try to get these picture names in front of those employee numbers, and then the loop will run. So today I'm going to tell you, first of all, for all of those who are watching me for the first time on this channel, let me just quickly take 15 seconds, not gonna take more than that. I also, as you know that this is the video number 179, so go there and watch all those amazing 178 videos on Excel, on Access and on VBA. And you can also, if you're looking for the Excel training, VBA training, I can also tell you that I also have a website which is excelvbalover.com. There you can go to the tutorial section, right? If you don't see it in your Internet Explorer, many of you have asked me that you're not able to watch this, see this drop down, then please upgrade it to the latest this Internet Explorer version. And I think on the Chrome it really works wonderful, right? So these are the drop downs: Excel training, Excel videos, Excel these VBA training, and video tutorials. So if you go to the video tutorials, you will see all those 179 free videos. And you can also subscribe to to my channel to watch all those amazing 179 videos. Just go to my playlist and you will see everything under the category, a specific category. For example, this is what actually I'm talking about. You have the arrays example, you have the charts VBA, you have the collection loops, and so many things, right? So and don't forget to watch this file folder handling, because what I'm going to tell you today is definitely this video is also something you should watch it, right? So if I click on this, let me see which video number is it, if you want to watch it through YouTube channel. So just give me a second, my net is working actually a little slow today, but anyways, we'll come back to this. I'll tell you. So right now this is the task, guys. This is what we need to do, keeping all these files here in the D drive, and rest of the files should be deleted, or deleting these files and rest of the files we need to keep it in our folder, which is my US folder. It's created in the D drive, as you can see here, right? So this is going to be very exciting. Let us first understand, before we jump onto the VBA, what we actually want to do. There are two concepts I'm going to do it, right? First, I'm going to use the arrays. Again, if you know me through my channel, then I'm a big fan of arrays. I really love to code using these array technology, and at the same time even in Excel, they work wonderfully, right? So a great gift by the Microsoft. So the second thing which we are going to do, because our images are in the D drive, under some folder, so we want to run the loop there. We want to check for each file. So we are going to actually also going to use a library called scripting, or you can say that file system object. You must have heard about it, just in case if you are familiar to the VBA. So let us start our code and let us see that how we're going to do this, right? This is going to be really very exciting. And in the meantime, all right, so my net is really very slow. I think it's not telling me, but you can search there. You will find it out this with this subject line that how to export the folder files in Excel sheet, right? So you will come to know that from any folder you can also export the file names. For example, right now I have just written them manually, but you can also run the code just in case if you want to export 100 items from your D drive, from this folder, you can do that. Just watch that video, right? Okay, so now let's go ahead and go to the VBA window. I'm going to insert the module. So my idea is to create the array, and then what we are going to do is we are going to compare this 1.jpg with all the files, with all these files 1 2 3 4 5 6, right? So we are going to match this. Is this equals to my 1.jpg which is in my Excel? If it is yes, then please delete it. If it is not, then please don't delete it, right? And go to the next and then compare. Is this equals to again 1.jpg? If it is, delete it. If it is not, go to the next file. So we will run a loop 6 times because I have 6 pictures here, right? So this is how we are going to do this entire task. We are going to do the comparison. First we'll compare all the 6 images with the first item, which is 1.jpg, and then we are going to compare it with the 3.jpg. So wherever it finds this, these 2 pictures, it is going to delete from your folder. So let's go ahead and let's start. Let's build the code. Let's not try to make this video lengthy. So the first thing I'm going to do is delete images. Okay, that's the sub I'm going to write it. Now first of all, we need to set up these 1.jpg and 3.jpg. So for that I'm going to use the arrays. So I'll write here my array as variant. I'll just keep it variant. Right now, if you don't know, if you don't have any information, if you don't know what exactly is the array, then I must tell you, if you're a VBA programmer, please go and learn them, because if you don't know them, then I will not even give you 50% marks. Let me be very honest with you. This is the most important thing you are supposed to know, especially in VBA, right? So we have a lot of videos for you. Don't worry, we have all these array examples. You can see all these videos. There are like 5 videos, and I'm sure each video would take around 30 to 45 minutes. Great videos. So you can go there and you can see that they're extremely very useful, right? I just can't think VBA without arrays. So in this case, we're going to create the array. So this is how I write. Now I'm going to declare here one more variable, which is my last row, just to find out the last row. I'll just tell you why. We'll keep it long, and this last row we are going to define it as equals to sheets. I'm going to write the sheet name 1, sheet 1. If you have a different sheet, then you just go by that name. I'm writing here sheet 1. Range, then it should go from, let's say, 10 lakh, and end XL up dot row. This will give me the last row. Last row means this 3.jpg. Now then we are going to run the loop for, let's say, I equals to 0 to how many times we need to run this. So let's just first define our array. Okay, so here I'm going to put this last row -1. Okay, now let me tell you what is going to happen here actually, because you should also understand it. Let's just put the watch, right click, select and right click, and put the watch on this my array. So you have your array here. All right, so just 1 second, this keypad is not working and I'm really facing a lot of tough time actually dragging, so just pardon me for that. It has to be actually repaired. Anyways, I think this is going to work. I just want to show you what exactly how the array is going to look like, right? So here we go. Now see this. last row, we are going to capture the last row using this control up arrow command, right? So it goes to this cell 10 lakh and then it captures the row, and you can see here it captured 2. So if it captured 2, then look at here, the moment I'm going to execute this redeem, I will get here 2 space. You can see here I've got the 2 spaces here, right? So let's just increase the little space here. Wait, yeah. So you can see here we have defined the array. So one array, the first position, which is the 0 position, because arrays always starts with the 0. So unless you define on the top option base, but anyways, that's not something I'm going to discuss here. So my array 0, we are going to provide this 1.jpg, and in the my array 1, I'm going to provide this 3.jpg. So array is created. That's the point. We got the positions. Now once we got the position, so this is what we will do. We'll run the loop quickly for let's say I equals to lower bound of my array to upper bound of my array. Upper bound is going to be the highest position, which is 1, and lower bound is going to be the lower position, which is 0. So that means this is going to run 2 times, right? So if it is going to run 2 times, then I'm going to fill my array. So the first thing which I will do, that I equals to, because I will start with the 0, so 0 index of the array is the position has to be cells. So you can also write the sheet name, that would be good, sheet 1, and we're going to define here cells and the row number. So I just define it as R, okay? And then or maybe we can do one thing, we can define I plus 1, because once you start with the 0, here it will become 1. So cells 1 comma 1 means that you are on the row number 1 and the column number 1, right? Okay, so let me close this. All right, so let's go ahead, let's run this. Variable not defined, yes, I forgot. Most of the time I always forgot. So let's just keep it long. Okay, so there we go. Now look at this, plus sign has appeared and we are going to run this. So I will start with the lower bound. I was telling you it's the lowest position of the array, which is 0, and the highest position is going to be, if I hover my mouse over here, then you can see that it's 1. So that means 0 to 1, the loop is going to run 2 times. So 2 times, the first position is 0 because I starts with 0. So here we are saying that capture this my array 0 as cell 1 comma 1. So that means you can see that 1.jpg falls in this position. Next I is going to change to 1, so we got both the values, 1.jpg and 3.jpg. So the loop is finished. Now this is the first part which you have done. Now it comes the important part. We are going to store all the files in my folder. We are going to do the comparison now with these all files one by one. I'm sorry, not the files, but images. So we are going to use a file system object library because we are going to deal with the folders. So go to the tools and the reference, and on this library, Microsoft Scripting Runtime. Now it is already on because I have already activated it, but in your case it is not going to show, it is not going to be shown here. So just press M and go to the Microsoft Scripting. So it's alphabetically sorted out. Again, that's a great help by the Microsoft. So just go there and find out where is your Microsoft Scripting Runtime, right? So it must be somewhere here, as you can see, right? So just check mark that, and automatically once you check it, once you put the check mark there, it is going to appear on the top, not on the top, but after your this office library, right? This is very important. If you don't do that, then this video is not going to help you, right? So just remember it. So now I'm going to declare this FSO as I'm going to use this scripting file system object, because we are going to deal with the folders. You use this file when do you use this library, not file, actually library, when you actually want to deal with the folders, right? So this is how you write these two standard lines: scripting file system object. All right, now this is the important FOL. I'm going to declare this as scripting. Scripting is not mandatory, but I always write it. I mean, sometimes I write it actually, sometimes I doesn't. Sometimes I directly start with the folder as well. You can write the folder as well, that's fine, but I've written it, so let it be like this. Okay, now what is your folder? You have to tell your folder name. Now here comes the FSO, which you have declared, which you have defined that it is going to be equivalent to my scripting file system object. So basically FOL is the object which which you have created in VBA, and is not a very it's not, I mean, anything, right, that you can consider of, like it's specifically related to file system object. It's now whatever the properties and the methods you can use using this file system object library, that you can use with the FSO object as well. FSO is not a VBA keyword. You can write your name as well, right? I've just written it FSO because I feel more comfortable with that. So this is how we will write get folder. So what is your folder name? My folder name is in the D drive, and the folder name is US, and this is how I write, right? Now what is the next thing you would like to do? So let me add the comment here. Okay, so here what we are doing, let me put the comment here. We are dealing with folder images or files. It's one and the same thing, right? Okay, so now I'm going to declare here one more variable, which is dim f as scripting dot file. You can also directly write file, but I have just prefixed scripting with this. Now this is the loop we are going to run for each f in files. Again, if you are familiar with our YouTube channel, then you must be knowing that we have used this loop a lot of times. This is called the collection loop. Now what this loop will do is, this is going to run, this is going to pick all the folders, all the files in a folder, which is FOL, and FOL, that's D drive, and in the D drive we have the US. So let me give you quickly one example. See this message box f.name. Okay, now let's just quickly run this. There we go. 1.jpg, 2.jpg, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's it, right? These are the 6 files. So now we are managed to capture all these images. Now it's the time when we are going to do the comparison, right? So I'll just off this. This is just for your understanding. Instead of that, what I will do, I will declare a variable called my file equals to f.name. Okay, so let's just delete this, and obviously this variable we have to declare it. So I'm going to declare here my file as variant. Okay, variant, because it could be a number, it could be a text, right? But I don't think so it is going to be a number, because you always have the extension, and extension makes it text. But still I have just written here variant. Otherwise you can also write string. Okay, so now what is the next thing I want to do? Now I want to run this loop for every file. I want to run this loop 2 times. For example, 1.jpg should be compared with first this 1.jpg. If it is equal, then delete it. If it is not, then go to the next, and then compare it with the 3.jpg. So that means we are going to run this loop 6 multiplied by 2, 12 times. So how are you going to do this? Now how do you know that you got to run this 2 times for every image there in the D drive, right? Because you may have 5 files here, you may have 5 image names here, or maybe 10, or maybe 100, as you also have written in my subscriber Mr. Ahmed also has written that he has a lot of images there. But anyways, we are not going to count them, right? We are going to simply run a loop which will pick up the lower bound and the upper bound of my array. So this is what we will do in this. For each loop, one more loop we are going to run, and this time we are going to say for j equals to j, I will declare it L bound to my array. Now this is really going to be very exciting video, I must tell you, because you see, you're not just going to learn about the arrays, okay, but at the same time, though I'm not going to explain you much about the arrays, but you can see how important they are, and then you can go back to that link which I showed you, and you can see the videos there, and it's going to really help you a lot. But what we are doing, we are discussing about the arrays, we are discussing about the file folders, and what else, we are also discussing about the for each loops collection loop, and then on top of that we are also trying to make a loop within a loop. So this is a perfect example. You have a sub loop within a loop. What else you need, right? So this is really going to be a great this video, and I again, congratulate Mr. Ahmed. Thank you for asking this question, because of your question actually this video is really going to be very awesome, and I'm sure all of you who are watching this, they are going to gain a lot of today thing from this video. Alright, so let's go ahead. Sometimes I get carried away, I get very emotional when I record the videos because I really love VBA. Right, so anyways, pardon me in case if I'm getting too emotional, but that's the way I am. Alright, so now what is the next thing we want to do? Again, this loop will run 0 to 1 time, so that means 2 times we are going to run this. So here we are going to put the if condition. So we are going to say if my file equals to what? This, my array I. Okay, so let's just declare here something else. Maybe I think we can declare here maybe anything. Let's declare it k, right? I'm going to declare here k also. I want to keep it separate, I don't want to confuse. So k as integer long, and k will start with the 0. Okay, so if you are equals to this, then what you're supposed to do, remember I'm going to start the k as 0. So my array 0 means that it is going to be 1.tpg. If it is, then I would like to delete you, right? So I'm going to write my file dot delete. If my file, f dot delete. Okay, and in just in case if it is not, then else go to the next file and if. But at the same time, you need to also ensure that k should also be incremented by 1, because your array should keep on also moving. Okay, so here also if it is going to delete, I want to increment it. In just a second you will understand it. Okay, so now what else we need? I guess that's fine, we can try on it, it should work. Okay, so let's just start the code. Okay, variable not defined, again I forgot variable, so j is not declared. Let me declare here j is long. Okay, there we go. Alright, so we started it, guys. Now look at this. First of all, we are going to capture 1 and 3.jpg, which I have written in my Excel using these array. So look at here, keep your eyes here. So we got here plus sign, let me just expand it, and there we go, 1.jpg and 3.jpg. So my array 0 position is equals to 1.jpg, and my array position number 1 is actually 3.jpg, right? So let's go ahead, and now we are going to capture the folder names. So this is what is going to tell us. Now folder is already defined, it's a folder in the D drive. My folder name is US. So now let's see. Alright, so there we go, my file, and look at this is the first file name, right? We have started running the loop for each file in my folder.files, which means that for every file now you have to run this loop until you are finished with all the files. So why it is showing 1.jpg? It is not this 1.jpg, remember, it is the Excel. This for each f in folder.files means that for each file in my folder, which is this D drive US. So if I take you to the folder, that's the first file, 1.jpg, right? Now we are going to run this loop. How many times we need to run this loop? Obviously I was telling you that this file we need to compare it 2 times with this 1.jpg and 3.jpg, so we have to run this twice. So this loop is going to take care of it, right? We know that the lower bound of the array is 1 and the upper bound is the lower bound is 0 and the upper bound is 1. So that means this loop we are going to run it 2 times, right? So this is the first time it is going to run. Now you know what is the value in my file. My file we have 1.jpg, right? So is it equals to my first array, which is this, my array 0? You can see here k is 0 because I started my k from with this 0. So that's the first position of my array. Yes, it is equal, so that means the file should be deleted. So this file has to be deleted. Look at this now. The moment I'm going to execute this, let's go back to the folder. There we go. There we go. The file is deleted. It's not there, right? Now again we need to do this comparison with the same file, though we know that it's 1.jpg is deleted, but still we have to check for the another file. This is because just in case if 1.jpg is not going to match up with the second file, let's say 2.jpg, then 2.jpg, this one should also be compared with 3 dot, right? So we have, this loop will ensure that. So now again I go to the next. Now you see that again this j becomes 1 because we started it with the 0. Now you know that this 1 is now what? If I put my cursor here, it's 3.jpg. What is your file? Your file was 1.jpg, which is this. So this one of course is not equals to this 3.jpg. So that means it is not going to do any action, right? So this my file is actually this, which we have deleted from here, which is no more available now, right? And this my array k is 3.jpg, which is this. So obviously it will go to the else, okay, and then again goes to the next, and now this inner loop is going to finish because it ran 2 times. So now it again goes to the next. Now what is the next file? You know what is the next file? The next file is 2.jpg, right? So 2.jpg is going to be compared with 1.jpg and 3.jpg. So let's see here. Now you can see that it is 2.jpg as I was telling you. So now again the loop has to run how many times? The loop has to run 2 times, right? So there we go. Now here we got one problem, right? The problem is j should start with 0, but you can see that the j value is coming 2, and I think that is going to create a problem. J cannot be 2, it should be 0. So why it is 2? Because it had already run twice. So once the loop, this mini loop, the sub loop is going to finish, I think we should make it 0 again. Okay, so once we're going to make it 0, I guess this k should also be 0, because right now it is 2. The moment I run this loop again here, you see you don't have any second position in the my array. It's 0th position and 1st position, so you will get the error called subscript out of a range, right? So that means once this loop is finished, the mini loop, we are supposed to make them 0, this in the index of the array and this loop, right? So now let us go quickly, and I have to run this loop again, but before that let me just create a copy of this. So I'm going to name this again 1.jpg. okay, so let us run this again. Okay, we got our values 1.3, and now here we are going to do the comparison again. So you know that my file is now going to be 1.jpg because that's the first file. So 1.jpg is definitely going to be equals to this my array, which is this 1.jpg. so it will delete it, and let's go back to the folder. As you can see, it is deleted, it's nowhere, right? So again the second time the loop will run, and this time this will be compared with the 3.jpg, the same file which we have just deleted, but nothing will happen because the name is not same. Okay, so now here I have converted, the mini loop is finished, the sub loop is finished. We are going on the bigger loop again. Now it goes to the next file. In the next file, now you see we have got 2.jpg, which is this 2.jpg. Now this is going to be compared with this 1 and 3, and this time I will going to correct ourselves. Now you can see that j started with the 0. Previously it was starting with 0, and here also I have got the correct value 0. So now what is the situation? What is your file? Your file is 2.jpg. Is it equals to 1.jpg, which is this? Of course not. So it goes to the else part. Okay, it increments the k here to check to go to the next array, which is my array 1, right? So that's why we are incrementing this k. Now what is the situation? Again, same file 2.jpg. Is it equals to this 3.jpg? Of course not. So again it goes to the else. So we have done the comparison 2 times. Now this mini loop is going to be finished, and j and k again became 0. Now what is the next file name? Next file name is 3. So I should be seeing here 3. You can see here 3. Perfect. Again this is going to run 2 times. Now that 3.jpg is going to be compared with 1.jpg and 3.jpg 2 times. So here we go, and because it was 3 and here I was having this 1, so that's why it went to the else. Now the next time it should delete it. We got a 3.jpg and we got here 3. We should yeah, so you can see here again we are getting here 3.jpg. so both the files are equal. Now it is going to remove. So let's go back and check here. You can see here that 3.jpg is removed, right? So again it goes to the major loop now. Now this time, what is the next file? It's 4.jpg. 4.jpg is not equals to, neither it is equals to 1.jpg nor equals to 3.jpg, right? So every time the loop will go in the else mode, right? Again, the next time the comparison will happen with the next file, which is 4.jpg, which is this file 4.jpg, right? So 12 times this loop, you know, will run like this. So every time now I think it will go in the else mode. All right, there we go, and there we go, finished, right? So this is how the loop is going to run. Now, for example, let's quickly go ahead and change this to 4. Okay, and I'm going to change this to 3 and 4. So it should delete it, and let's just create the copy. 2 copies I'm going to create. The first one I'm going to name it 1, and the next one is going to, I name it 2. Sorry, 3. So if I run the loop, or maybe let's increase it, let's just create one more, which is 6.jpg. Okay. So remember, if is a case sensitive, right? So you have to ensure that the spellings should be in the proper order, right? Uppercase, lowercase, VBA. When you write if in the VBA, it is case sensitive, right? Okay. So now 346 we have got in here, and 346. So once I run this macro, you know, it should actually delete these files. So just a 1 second, let me put it here. Let me just move it a little to the left. Okay, and I close this, and yeah. Okay, so I'm going to run this loop quickly using F5 or maybe this run, and what files we shouldn't be seeing in our folder is 2, 4 and 6, right? They should be deleted if our code is correct. So let us just hit on F5. There we go. Alright, so we got it correct. Yes, we got it correct. So 3 and 4 and 6, they are not there, right? So this is how you can prepare this code. Right, let me just show you this entire window. You can pause the video and you can type in the code just in case if you're looking forward to, but this is really a good exercise we did today. So again, thanks to the subscriber, and yeah, so let me just put this indenting, remove the space so that you can see it on the entire screen. Okay, so there we go, and there we go. Right, so that's what, you know, I have written in the module, so you can note down it and you can, you know, use it. Right, so do leave your comment, let me know if it is, you know, the video you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're watching it for the first time, and definitely I'll come back with some more exciting stuff. That will be the video number 188. Till then, you please take care of yourself and have a very, very happy learning. Thank you very much.